Hi friends! In this video, we will see how to use SPARSH VP110 with SARVAM UCS. Let us see the requirements for the same. Eternity GENX with SARVAM UCS SME, or Eternity MENX or LENX with SARVAM UCS ENT application. SARVAM UCS SME or ENT license. Allow SIP extensions registration flag checked in security settings of SARVAM UCS. Allow auto configuration of third-party SIP phones in security settings of SARVAM UCS. IP subscriber licenses. Allow standard SIP registration flag checked in SIP extension settings of SARVAM UCS, that is only for v1r6.3 and above version. Let us go through the configuration now. Consider a scenario where WAN port of SARVAM UCS is configured with static IP address. SPARSH VP110 will be registered with the WAN port IP address of SARVAM UCS. Let us move on to the configuration steps. We will complete the configuration in 3 steps. SPARSH VP110, that is, client configuration. SARVAM UCS, that is, server configuration. Directory, that is contact sync. Let us start with the first step of SPARSH VP110 configuration. As the first step, connect power adapter. Or Ethernet cable from a PoE switch to turn on SPARSH VP110. SPARSH VP110 will be in DHCP mode by default. We can change the network settings from the phone's GUI, or from the interface on the phone. SPARSH VP110 can be registered in OpenSIP mode. We can auto-provision SPARSH VP110 with SARVAM UCS as well. We will use the auto-provisioning feature of SPARSH VP110 in this case. This can be done from phone's GUI, or the interface on the phone. We will see both the methods. Let us see the auto-provisioning from phone's GUI. Log into the GUI. Go to Settings, followed by Auto Provision. Enter the server URL, that is, IP address of the WAN port of SARVAM UCS. The address will be entered as http:// IP address of the WAN port of SARVAM UCS, port. Note, the port is SPARSH port of SARVAM UCS. Here, the port is default, that is, 80. Hence, we do not need to put the port. Click on Confirm. Click on Auto Provision now. This completes the GUI configuration. Let us see how to do the same using the interface on the phone. enter the menu. Followed by Settings. Go to Advanced Settings. Enter the password. That is 1234. Go to Auto Provision. Enter the URL, that is, IP address of the WAN port of SARVAM UCS. The address will be entered as http:// IP address of the WAN port of SARVAM UCS, port. Note, the port is SPARSH port of SARVAM UCS. Here, the port is default, that is, 80. Hence, we do not need to put the port. Press Save, and then, OK, to Auto Provision. This completes the configuration of SPARSH VP110. Let us move on to the second step, of SARVAM UCS configuration. Log into SARVAM UCS as System Engineer. Go to VoIP Configuration, followed by Device Management. Registration request from SPARSH VP110 will reflect on this page. Assign the SIP account of SARVAM UCS to SPARSH VP110. Program SIP ID, that is the extension number to be assigned to SPARSH VP110. Program authentication credentials to be used for authentication. Matrix SARVAM UCS supports call forking on SIP extensions, which allows to register 3 devices on the same account. Select the desired location of SPARSH VP110 registration accordingly. Select the registrar server address. Registrar server address is the address of the SIP server. SARVAM UCS provides this address to SPARSH VP110 for registration. There are 4 different options available for registrar server addresses, depending on the network architecture. LAN port IP address. Select this option to register SPARSH VP110 on the LAN port of SARVAM UCS. WAN port IP address. Select this option to register SPARSH VP110 on the WAN port of SARVAM UCS. Router/STUNS IP address. Select this option when installation of SARVAM UCS is behind the router, with a static private IP address, and the router is having public IP address, or dynamic DNS host name. In this scenario, the following ports must be forwarded to the static private IP address of SARVAM UCS. HTTP port, that is, TCP80. HTTPS port, that is, TCP443. SIP port, that is, TCP 5060. UDP 5060. SIP TLS port, if SIP is used over TLS, that is. TCP 5061, UDP 5061. SIP RTP port range, that is, UDP 8000 to 12400, for audio, and UDP 8000 to 16800, for video. If router is configured with static public IP address, router's public IP address must be configured under network parameters. If router is configured with dynamic DNS host name, simple traversal of UDP through NAT, that is STUN, must be configured under network parameters. Dynamic DNS host name. Select this option when SARVAM UCS is having dynamic DNS host name configuration. As we are using SPARSH VP110 on the WAN port IP address of SARVAM UCS, we will select Use WAN port IP address and register our server address field. Go to SIP extension General Parameters, select the source port IP address. There are three options available. Use Ethernet port IP address. Select this option when LAN or WAN port of SARVAM UCS and SPARSH VP110 are in the same network. Use IP address fetched using STUN. Select this option when SARVAM UCS or router is configured with dynamic DNS account. Use router's public IP address. Select this option when installation of SARVAM UCS is behind the router and router is configured with static public IP address. We will select Use Ethernet port IP address option in this case, as SPARSH VP110 is registered on the WAN port of SARVAM UCS. SPARSH VP110 will fetch the configuration from SARVAM UCS, and will get registered. This completes the second step of SARVAM UCS configuration. Let us move on to the third step of directory sync. Go to Location Settings of SPARSH VP110. Select the contacts to be synced in local phone book and remote phone book. The contacts selected in local phone book will be synced in local phone book of SPARSH VP110. And the contacts selected in remote phone book will be synced in remote phone book of SPARSH VP110. Do not send. Select this option if you do not want to overwrite the phone book of SPARSH VP110. Send extension numbers only. Select this option to sync the extension numbers of SARVAM UCS in the SPARSH VP110 phone book. Send global directory numbers only. Select this option to sync the numbers configured in global directory of SARVAM UCS in phone book of SPARSH VP110. Send first extension numbers, remaining global directory numbers. Select this option to sync the extension numbers of SARVAM UCS in SPARSH VP110 phone book first, and then send numbers configured in global directory in the remaining capacity. Send first global directory numbers, remaining extension numbers. Select this option to sync the numbers configured in global directory, in phone book of SPARSH VP110 first, and then send extension numbers of SARVAM UCS, in the remaining capacity. We will select Do Not Send option in local phone book, and send first extension numbers, remaining global directory numbers in remote phone book. Now, we will configure the URL in the phone, to fetch the contacts from SARVAM UCS. Log into the phone's GUI. Go to Directory, followed by Remote Phone Book. The URL for a remote phone book will be auto-filled. If the URL is not auto-filled, enter the URL in the following manner: http:// IP address of SARVAM UCS / remote phone book _yalink.xml. The phone will download the contacts from SARVAM UCS. With this we finish the entire configuration. Thank you for watching this video. For further queries and support, contact Matrix Technical Support Team.